Jonathan, when this episode goes live, we should have not only survived the winter storm, but hopefully we'll be out of our cocoons and back into the world.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
I feel like more likely for you. You live in a state that is equipped to deal with winter weather, at least to some extent. You destroy your roads while you do it, but you're equipped to, like, do it.
So true.
I'm so worried that we're going to be stuck in for a long time, but hopefully you're correct.
For your sake, I hope so too. So let's jump into what would you do in this particular situation? Would you want to never eat chicken again or never eat cheese again?
I do think I like cheese more than I like chicken. But because of my mild to moderate lactose intolerance, for my own sake, I'm going to say cheese.
Wow.
The macro protein bros are proud of me, but...
See, I'm the opposite. Because I have mild to moderate lactose intolerance, and I'm like, I'm going cheese.
Neither of these things are like, oh, my favorite thing. Like, oh, I can't live without chicken or I can't live without cheese. So I'm like, maybe I'll at least make the decision that's like moderately responsive to how my body reacts to when I eat it.
Well, I love cheese. You're not a cheese aficionado. You don't love cheese?
I don't dislike cheese. I enjoy cheese, but I'm not like, oh
but
my god, cheese.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, on a scale of 0 is you don't really like cheese, 10 is you like cheese and you want one of those Packers cheese head hats. I want one of those, even though I'm not a Packers fan. You know, the like cheese wheel?
Yeah.
Where are you? That's 10. 0 is you could easily live without cheese.
Well, see, this is funny because I have a cheesehead hat, but I still feel kind of how I feel about cheese.
John,
I don't know that I still have it. I at
right
least
now.
had it for a while. It might be buried at my mom's house somewhere, but yeah, my dad did work in Green Bay and brought me back a cheese head. It's a wedge of cheese. It is not a wheel. It's a wedge.
Are they all like that?
Yes.
I thought it was the wheel.
The official cheese head is a wedge. I think it's more of a triangle.
I was totally picturing it.
And then the Bears now have I don't know if they're official, but they have cheese grater hats that they wear now too.
I like those. Those are cool too. I like it in Philly when they wear the Philadelphia cream cheese one. When we play the Packers. That's a good one too. In Spanish, they call cream cheese queso Philadelphia. It's true. It just seems so funny to me. Cheese Philadelphia.
Wait, now I want a bagel.
So where are you on 0 to 10?
I don't know, because you made the scale about two things. You said, do you only kind of like cheese, which is apparently the worst you could feel about it, and then at the top is you want to have a hat that looks like cheese.
Yeah, because you love cheese so much.
I have that hat and don't love cheese that much.
Okay, I'm putting you at 2.
A 2? I have the hat. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Okay, Adam Savage.
Yeah. Where would you put yourself? Are you a 10?
I'm at least like an 8. Like, I love mozzarella sticks. I couldn't have those.
You're a 10 with... I like mozzarella sticks, too.
Yeah, do you love them?
What does that mean?
How willing are you to take the hit to your lactose intolerance for the mozzarella sticks?
Very.
I'll take the hit every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't even think twice. Do you think twice? Do you doubt for a second?
Not usually.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just like, this is the problem with society is you can't say you like something without being obsessed with it.
It is true. And if you say anything on like social media, you're just like, yeah, man, I love cheese. People are like, oh, you don't love cheese more than I love cheese. It's like okay, chill out. They're like, what about cream cheese? It's like, that's not the separate thing.
That's literally what you just did, like 2 minutes ago.
It is 100% true. I did it for the podcast, though. We're 5 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get us back on track, John.
You did this to us.
I did. I did do this to us. Cheese did this to us. Oh,
not
Jonathan.
The worst thing cheese has done to me.
That's unfortunately also true for me. Well, Jonathan, I asked you to bring us back around. I asked you this question because our Old Testament reading this week is from Isaiah. It's chapter 58. It's verses 1 through 9a. So somehow you're supposed to just take the first part of verse 9. But in it, it's about fasting and the fasting that God approves of. I'm going to read you just a little bit of it. This is starting in verse 4. This is God speaking through Isaiah. You fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, a day to humble oneself? Is it to bow down the head like a bulrush and to lie in sackcloth and ashes? Will you call this a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is this not the fast that I choose, to loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them and not to hide yourself from your own kin? Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. So, Jonathan, I wanted to start off just talking about fasting in general. Have you ever fasted? And what did you do?
Well, definitely have been part of the, fasting for Lent, but not fasting food, giving up types of food, social media, whatever it is. I have participated in what is known as, have you heard of the 30-hour famine?
Is that, we did something where we got locked in the church basement for like 30 hours.
That sounds sketchier than what I did, but
Probably is.
But what I did was also pretty sketchy, where it's just like all like a youth group event where we have a church lock in, but then talk about hunger. Yeah, we don't eat for a day and a half, almost a day and a half.
What ours did.
I think there was at a time, at least, I was on the intermittent fasting, like diet fad.
That was awesome.
I fasted like for shorter periods of time. Yeah, so a wide variety of experiences with fasting. All feel like marginally surface level, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, and that's... I resonate with that. That, like, a lot of them are like, okay, I need to... I'm not going to eat. I'm going to limit. I'm not going to eat at all, or I'm not going to eat this food, or I'm going to limit my intake for a certain period of time. And then I guess for me, the idea has been like, okay, when I do that and I'm hungry, I'll think also about how what really sustains me is God. But generally, I think I'm just in a bad mood because I get hungry and then I'm angry.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
you're hungry.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't think this is really accomplishing.
Yeah. It's admittedly, like, it's one of these practices that I'm like, there's clearly a very different understanding of what it means to fast. I'm not sure how I react to it right now, honestly.
Yeah,
There's part of me that's saying, this is dumb. But also, as we were wont to do in the podcast, sometimes our initial strong reactions like turn back around on us eventually too. So I'm curious to see where we're going.
You're right. And I think sometimes like our fasting can be used almost like a diet. We're like, oh, I need to get in a little bit better shape. So how can I turn this spiritual practice? I'll use it to get in better shape, and also, then I can also do something spiritual with it. I can kill two birds with one stone here. I can double up.
Particularly violent metaphor if you think about it.
It really is. Also, seems very challenging. Very very unlikely. The one thing I'll say about fasting is I have a deep respect for the ways that the Orthodox Church has done it, which they're not only much more fasts, like it's sort of prescribed in the calendar, and they fast from different things at different times, and they do it together. At least you're on the calendar. At least you're sharing that calendar with other people.
Right.
Which I think is more helpful than what I've done, individually for little periods of time that just made me hungry. At least it seems very intentional. But in our text, God's talking about a totally different kind of fasting. And in fact, when I'm reading this, I hear echoes of last week's text too.
Yeah.
This fasting is so different. This is fasting that involves loosing the bonds of injustice, undoing the straps of the yoke, sharing bread with the hungry, bringing the homeless poor into your house. So I think one of the things that's really fascinating to me about this is that there's both an individual aspect to it and one that's communal. Because it seems to me like bringing the homeless into your house and giving them food. In some ways that seems especially individual to me. And I think of that even now, but especially 2,000 years ago or more. But to do that involves seeing someone and being with them and talking to them and bringing them into your home or giving them food that you have on you. Hey, here's this. But then I also think there's this larger communal aspect too of loosening the bonds of injustice. That feels much bigger to me. Something that maybe I can help do, but that takes a lot more than me. So Jonathan, I just want to dream big today, if I'm honest. And I want to ask you, what are some acts of fasting, in keeping with what Isaiah is talking about, that you want to see big businesses do, governments do, even churches do? What are some things where you think this is actually not helpful? What if we got rid of that and we replaced it with something? I want you to dream big.
I don't know who's responsible for this, if it's any of the entities that you mentioned or someone else. I wish we could fast from productivity. There are far too many people whose livelihoods depend on being active, being in motion, hustling, that I'm just so curious about what it would be like for us to build a system that's not dependent on productivity, that still creates space for meaningful connection, for creativity, but not just to have a means to eat up every bit of our time and energy each week in order to survive.
That's one thing that I think I appreciate about snowstorms. It's like it forces you to not be very productive. I mean, even as much as you can get done in your house is as productive as you can be. But if you're like, I need to go somewhere, it's like, nope, too bad. Not going anywhere. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I think we have made that, like, the irony to me, maybe I should say, is that we've made productivity so important that, like, even when people are trying to fast, like, they're trying to, like, specifically not eat something, we're like, no, you should still also be doing all this other stuff while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're like, and I mean that fasting both in, like, very tangible ways, like food, but also even these sort of larger, maybe more metaphorical ways that Isaiah is talking about. Like, even when you're, like, pushing against, like, the yoke that holds people down, which is, like, really tiring work. They're like, no, you also need to go do your other job at the bank. That's, like, also in some ways the opposite of the work you're trying to do. You still need to be productive in your regular life. And then with your free time, you can do this like, your pet project here, which bothers me. That's not to say that people haven't made, like, some people have done a wonderful job, like, making what I call their pet project their full life. But I wish more people could do that and didn't have to be productive in those other spheres that like pay better, right? I guess this isn't even like this is dreaming big. This is mine, but only in the United States. I just wish that we would disconnect our employment from our healthcare. Like, in the rest of the world, at least the vast majority of it, and people have figured this out. At least and even if they still have systems where, like, that's true, I think people recognize that, like, that's not the ideal. But here, at least, there doesn't seem to be much movement. And I think the irony maybe is, like, again, we have to be productive. So and because of that, we attached our insurance to our employment to force people to be productive. It's like we talked about the yoke. What's the thing with the cow where, like, the cow walks and it like pushes the bar back and then it comes back and it, like, hits them? It's like goading. Is that the right word? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's like it might be like straps that are hanging down that, like, have something sharp or heavy.
Yeah.
That, like, might hit them in the back of the legs or something like that too.
And it pushes them forward.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I feel like that's almost what we've done with our healthcare. Is we've used that as the thing to, like, push people forward toward more productivity, toward, like, doing more and working harder and putting in more hours. Now that we got to dream big, I want to dream a little bit smaller. I want to ask you, what's something that you want to fast from? And maybe, if you're willing to share, something that you hope to get out of it. It can be cheese, too.
I haven't put it in this language yet, Seth, but my word for the year is less. Like, I just have resonated with that idea. And I know that if you approach a word like that, you can literally say anything about anything. Like, you could say, yeah, I don't know. But I think for me, what I'm interpreting that as is stacking less. Like, being in the days where you and Jared decided to stop inviting me to hang out to have pizza because I never could come. Like, I want to be able to live a life where I can accept the invitation to do things with the people that I love that might feel a little bit more spontaneous, and I don't have to schedule it months in advance to do it. want to have a little bit more margin that allows me to think and create and play. I think also, so I think for me, what that really means is, I guess, yeah, like less packing it in, less stacking things up.
Yeah. That's a
being
great
willing
one.
to say no or no longer, and then just claiming some of that time, to say that an hour that I have that's free does not need to be filled to be productive. It can be fruitful without being productive, if that makes sense.
It does. It can be filled with trashy TV. That can be fruitful. I just feel like I go through these like cycles where I'm spending too much time just like scrolling on social media, and then I will like actively fight it, and I will do better. And then as soon as I'm like not actively thinking about it, just watch it creep up again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. So that's like my thing is like not just to fast temporarily from social media, but to have something like a true fast that's lasting. And every once in a while, I've turned my phone into black and white. You can and you go into accessibility if you have an iPhone, you make it black and white, and it's so much less addicting. But then eventually, I put it back to color again, and it's like just as absorbing. But I would love to fast from that and to use that time to read. Like I love to read, but it's like I'm still reading either way, but one thing is like a real book and the other thing is like people's shit posting and advertisements. And it's like, which one of those is way more meaningful? I mean, like to spend time doing something that isn't inundating me with ads, but also I think like books are just one of the ways that I can put myself in other people's experience to at least see a little bit of what it might be like. And like I'm not getting at least much of that. You might get a tiny glimpse of it on social media, but even then it's like it's filtered through what people want to post and what the algorithm shows you. So I'd like to spend less time on social media and use that time to read and to see more of what the world has out there. And I hope maybe if I do that, I don't know, this is my big hope. This is kind of maybe a stretch even, but like maybe that will help me see more of the injustice in the world, more of what yokes need to be loosened, to know at least part of the experience of like people who are hungry. Like in that way, maybe it will help me to do some of the fasting that Isaiah talks about. Some of this, I hesitate to call it real fasting, but this fasting that's more important, I guess. This bigger fasting that aligns so much more directly with God's vision for the world. Well, Cheesehead, will you pray with me? So I don't know why I said that. I just felt like I needed to say something. I needed to bring it all together. That was what I came up with. Well, Cheesehead, who decided to give up cheese? What would you do in this particular situation?
Reluctantly, I will say yes. Seth, please pray for us.
Thanks, Jonathan. As the one who fasted from both food and any form of injustice, teach us to do the same, O God. Use our hungry stomachs to bring about a hunger for justice. Make our rumbling bellies also shake the pillars of injustice. Help us not fast only with our mouths, but with our bodies and our actions, so that our world looks more like the one you envision, for us. Amen.
Amen.